Welcome to The Law, Your Money, and You. I'm Roberta Sapphire, an attorney in Sharon, Massachusetts.
And I'm Camille Barron, a financial coordinator also in Sharon, Massachusetts. And Roberta, continuing on with our financial literacy campaign, we have some very interesting guests today who are going to be talking more about some of the exciting things that are going on with students.
Yes, and interesting is not enough of a word, but I don't know what kind of word to use except exciting, fascinating, unbelievable, gratifying. We won't have a show left. Welcome, Cedric.
Thank you very much.
And his student, Marshall. What's your last name?
Delpe.
Spell that.
Delpe.
I just wanted to say, is that French?
Yeah,
okay.
it is.
Oh, nice. That is Cedric. Cedric, okay, tell us a lot about yourself. Never mind a little bit. Tell us a lot, because I met you through Dr. Margaret Brooks,
Yes,
who's the new
Bridgewater.
financial literacy school. There's a new school at Bridgewater State. She's the director, and you had this fascinating program, Empower Yourself, with kids from the middle school and talking about women's rights and global economy and all these things. So you tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, okay, about me. If it was
Take your time.
So if it was when that we're having this conversation about this is something that's really, really true to me, because when I came out of school, way when, many moons ago.
So many seasons.
So I had a job, and I was, I had all this here with the money, and I was making about 60, 65 in fact, K a year, and I had no type of, in fact, debt at all.
Wow.
And so I went to people that I knew and said, well, I got all these checks just, right on my type of a dresser, just wasn't there.
That's a terrible
And so I said, well,
Terrible problem.
what do I do? And these are people, who I've always looked up to, and said, well, all right, why don't you have this done? You have in fact your check. You have it inside the actual type of bank. You take out $200 for you, and that's it. And so I said, okay, that's it now. I came out, and so I have a the economics degree, finance degree, but I knew nothing about saving. I knew nothing about it. I knew nothing about literacy. And so for all these years, I'm having all this here what the money made, and I'm just having spending.
And not saving? And
I'm not having anything. I'm taking trips to the islands. I'm buying cars.
What'd your mother say about that?
Well, I'm on my own at this time. And so, right after a while, when that things went was down, I said, wow, if only I had this done. If only I did this. If only I did this. So, that is when that literacy came to mind, that, this is something I would like to teach some other people, so that they don't make in fact these here type of mistakes I made. Because I've owned, in fact, firms and companies. I've owned big companies and little companies, and made all this money and made money, lost it, made money, lost it. And so I said, gee, man, if only I had this here done. So I began to teach about this is stuff back in the 90s. I began teaching the adults about literacy back in the 1990s, and what I had found was, these here people, the adults use the type of literacy classes the same way that most people use that the emergency room. So people only go to the emergency room when they
need it.
have to. So people was kind of was in my type of class. Yeah, is it kind of was it too late to do this? Too late to do this? And I'm like, well, what happened? And I like, yeah, it's kind of like too late.
Wow.
Now, let me ask you something. This young fellow is looking at you adoringly. Let's find out about you.
Find out about me. What is there to? He has so much more. Well, when
He
it came,
brought you. He brought you.
yeah, he brought.
You got a lot going on there. We can see it.
Yeah.
Tell us, you're his student?
Yeah.
One of his students?
Well, I'm a member in the organization that he founded at Empower Yourself over at Brockton High School. So what essentially that we do at the organization is it kind of goes in three different ways. We do three different main things within Empower Yourself. One, we help people learn more about financial literacy, mainly the youth, so that they can become more financial satisfied people when they get older. You know, because that's a terrible problem with a lot of people these days. The fact that they're in debt, all these things are happening to them that they could have known about if they known about before, they want to be in a certain situation. You know, so that's one part of it. Another objective of ours is to have people within our organization compete in different types of financial competitions, so that people can get that experience, but also learn the information that they have to know about just like the world around them, and just get that competitive spirit in them, so to speak. And then third thing that we do is that we give back to the community, because we found that's like extremely important to give back more than what you've received, so that future generations can just, you know, get off of that. So we do several charities. We volunteer in various locations throughout Brockton and try to help the people that really got us to where we are.
Let me, you're doing a great job. Now, I went to the symposium, Empower Yourself, run at Bridgewater State.
Yeah.
Will you tell us viewers about that? Because I'm sure many of them have never heard of it, and it's so amazing.
Well, so the symposium, essentially what it did was that invited a few schools to talk about certain global issues that
Economic issues.
that's important. That's very
Great.
important.
Yeah.
Several
Issues.
economic issues that could be handled, because there's so many different issues in the world, but the economic issues are where it's most vital, because those impact everybody. See, the thing is, a lot of people try not to understand, or they try to push away the fact that money does run everything, and that may be like a bad fact of the world, but at the end of the day, it's money that controls everything.
Yeah.
So when it comes to the global economic issues, one of the things that we talked about, for instance, was the NCAA. For instance,
What is NCAA?
the NCAA.
The National
Collegiate
Athletic Association.
Oh.
Basketball.
Yeah,
you know that?
Basketball,
and
football.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But essentially what they do is, like, they're the ones who control all the college athletes throughout the nation. So one thing that they've been under fire for recently, even before in prior years, the 90s and etc., the fact that they don't pay their players. They don't pay the people that work so many hours throughout the week. While they're in school, nonetheless, they work so many hours throughout the week to do what they can just for them to play in their games. And when they graduate, they don't have the degree as they don't have the same degree, they don't have the same level of education the other students may have. You know, so that's one of the things that we discussed that the NCAA doesn't pay their players, and there's a whole thing about the fact that these people are working so hard but they don't get any payment for it, and they're taking these fake paper classes just to pass through the classes and whatnot. So that's one of the issues that we discussed, and
And it's kind of with the labor. So if that you kind of have it seen, you know, basically there is a type of need to educate people within the urban areas.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
Because if that kind of, you know, this here guy came to your house and said, well, I'm going to take out that's your what's his son, and he's going to work over here for me, and I'm going to make all this here money, and he isn't going to get paid anything. Was that okay with you? But see, that happens inside homes all the time. I mean, these here coaches go to these here kids' homes, and they make no promises. Keep in mind, as a lawyer, a thing letter of intent, which all these kids have to sign. That is a legal type of document. Now, inside of what's most type of states, I believe you have to be 18 to sign a legal document.
Yeah.
You know, you got these kids that was 17 years old signing these here letters, and you know, no one says anything about it. So in fact, the kids came up with these here type of topics. So they had to come up and say, this was the issue. So each and every team, and it was teams of 5. It was teams of 5. So what did we do is we teach the kids how to to work inside teams, because that is the whole type of world. So rather you're in school, rather that you're working, you are going to have to learn how to work in teams. And so they worked in teams. They did all the research. They did the PowerPoints. They did the writings.
This is for the
This is
symposium.
for
But who picked the topics?
They did.
We did. In fact, all the groups looked around to see what exactly economical issues that they could find.
Really?
You know, there was ranging from the NCAA and their work with college athletes to things like the global drug trade, which is the group that I was in.
Wow,
with.
that must have been interesting.
So we saw like the different countries that had their association with the global drug trade, but not only did we examine what was going on throughout the world, but we also found solutions to them.
Really?
We found solutions. We've looked at different countries that were different, that had different laws and regulations towards drugs or things like that.
Yeah.
Things like rehabilitation centers, all those types of things. We examine them and try to like make the best solution possible that we could find to these certain epidemics. So again, it was like a wide range of different topics and everything like that. So
And even the middle school, the
school.
little school were talking about why you should raise taxes. They were talking about women's rights, the water. I mean, the topics were just
Well, you know,
amazing.
one of the effective things I really want to emphasize is early education. So we were was one of the very first was the organization to actually work inside the middle schools. When I came and I had my proposal, people thought I was crazy. You want to do what? You want to work with middle school kids?
Well, Scott Giles, and I'm interrupting you, president of the Mass Council on Economic Education, who we interviewed, thinks you're not crazy, that you are great and your program is fantastic. So you've got a real fan in
Why?
him.
not crazy. no.
Why don't paid as he left? But you know, we have to. I mean, we had our kids because you know, just kind of was keep in mind, these here kids kind of was look at what kind of something, and we have done an awful job of trying to tell our kids at a early age, or young men, or young women, that look, you guys can be anything. So the words are there. Oh, you can be absolutely everything. But you know, where are the actions at? And so you know, by us kind of was going to the middle schools, and we get kids as soon as they get into the sixth grade, and we keep them all the way until the 12th grade. So by the time, so I got kids. So my type of teams that won. So we got first place, second place, and third place. So
Congratulations.
His team had got second.
Yeah, we got
So,
wow,
close.
congratulations.
But you know, and
I would have voted you first.
and just kind of was it keep in mind, the oldest of my kids is 16 years old, and that's him.
Oh, yeah, Scott says you take the kids at a young age and you work with them
Every year. Yeah.
So the way that Mr. Turner works, and he's told us this person because he feels that it's all right to know with that. The more that as we get older, the less he exerts control, so to speak, of the things that we do. So as an organization, what we do, for instance, is that we have our own organization that sells things, that buys things, that creates things, so that we can make a profit for ourselves.
The entrepreneurship.
Our
yeah,
entrepreneurship
that's
club.
good. Yeah.
So that's,
How old were you when you started with him?
unlike the other kids, I started quite recently. I started about a year ago. In fact, about a year ago. You know, but I learned so much from like the group itself. But yeah, unlike the other kids, some of them started since 7th grade,
What a
6th
good one,
grade.
huh?
Some of them started
good
so young.
find.
Yeah.
And-
So most of them I've had since the sixth in fact grade. So the kids who were at the competition, I've had them since the sixth grade. And so
Isn't that wonderful?
for them, and now it's in. So for some of the things we do. So they have gone to, in fact, a trading room over at Bentley College. So we have them taken there a few times a year. We go to Bentley.
Wow.
And Bentley knows us. We go to the Reserve Bank. We do our competition. So our kids travel out and they see things. They've gone to Morgan, in fact, with Stanley, and they go to other financial institutions and other institutions. We have ourselves luncheon. In fact, learns at the
Yeah, I
high
got
school.
all this material
Yeah.
on you, too.
Yeah.
You got a lot of it.
And we also, like, as of which last year, we are now have ourselves a camp into the engineering and also aviation.
Really?
So we
Really?
do
Wow.
some summer camp in engineering, and
Wow.
Where is
people,
that?
It's at the high school.
Fantastic.
And so
Really?
people say to me, "Wait a minute, why don't you kind of make up your mind? Are you an economic institution? Are you an engineering?" And here is the thing.
Engineering.
The archetype of economics and the literacy piece, that is how that you think. So regardless if you're a teacher or a carpenter, you fix cars, you build up houses, these are things everyone have to know. Everyone needs to know about the economics. Everyone needs to know about 5 type of literacy.
Yeah, because that's the thing that I was when he was saying before. A professor at Bridgewater State, she's like the professor of like finances at Bridgewater State. What she said that really resounded with me is that the fact that economics is everything. Economics isn't just money, it's how the world works,
Yeah.
it's how everything functions. So once you understand that, you have a better concept of how everything really comes together as like a society. So whether it's engineering,
Fascinating.
aviation, politics, anything that really relates to the world itself, all that is economics.
I had economics in college, Samuelson.
Yeah.
I didn't learn anything.
The MIT guy.
they changed-
The MIT professor.
Yeah, they
Oh, really?
used to
Yeah.
change 2 words in the book, and you had to get a new book.
Yeah, that's
another
right, that's right.
$60.
That's economics. That's smart.
The economics of books.
Economics right there.
The economics of book sales. You gotta get the newer impact edition. Oh,
When
yeah.
did you start this organization?
This is now our 5th year.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, this is
Boy,
not-
look how much further. We're,
This
we're
is-
an extra
Yeah,
year.
this is our.
We're way
this,
behind you.
yeah,
I mean, we've
yeah,
done
yeah.
a lot.
Yeah, this is.
But
And
you-
so
oh,
I. So I.
nice brochure.
So I had you gave those type of terms there.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
those here terms
Oh.
really is like, the economics is a language. And it's just like any other language, whether it's French, whether it's Spanish, it's learning a language. Money is a language.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so,
isn't that so?
the only single way you're going to learn the language is by learning its terms.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we do is we have the kids
boy,
gave
yeah.
that, and so they have to not only have it learned, but they have to know how each and every word is used.
Wow.
These are.
Can I come to
Yeah.
this class too?
Absolutely.
These
anytime.
are-
kind of
These are big
competitive.
words.
Yeah,
for-
Yeah,
yeah.
and-
And so
Yeah.
we had that gave to them in the sixth grade.
No
So,
kidding.
so yeah,
Yeah.
we have to start to have them taught the language because it's very important.
I didn't learn this stuff
Yeah.
till
Right.
after
You know what I'm
law
going to do with
school.
this? I like to watch the series shows, on TV, and one of them, it's a fairly new one. It's called Billions.
Oh,
yes,
yeah,
I've heard of
yeah,
that
yeah.
show.
All right,
I've heard
so
of that
now
show.
I am going to be sitting here with this because some of the things, the
And
transactions
they're
that
just
they're
all
talking
like,
Right,
yes,
right, right.
it's
I
a little
understand
above
that.
my head.
Yeah.
So I'm going to sit
take out
here
the paper,
and say,
just-
now wait a minute, I'm
okay.
going to stop the TV and look for this because I bet it's here.
Yeah.
Now I'll
I
understand
didn't
it better.
know that stuff till.
Well, that's what
afterwards.
most people they don't.
And
you know-
I'm supposed to be
yeah.
smart.
Yeah, no, you are.
Me too.
You are
I
smart.
was supposed to
she's
know this
smart,
stuff.
too.
But I mean, most people, if you're talking about
was
the equity, I mean, if you look
Yeah.
at the housing market,
Oh,
we
yeah.
had the really bad the housing crisis.
Back in 2008.
A lot of that was because people had no idea what equity is.
No, and they had no idea what they could afford.
They
for
had no
monthly
idea what they
payments.
could afford, what
They
they
don't know
could
what
do.
they're signing.
Yeah, so it was like, the education is like most people who are the adults are kind of feel extremely ashamed to admit they don't have this known. So they will have it watched, but they won't say, "Gee, man, I have no idea." But what we have done is we have kind of educated the parents through our kids.
Yeah,
because the kids come home and say, "Mommy, Daddy, look
Right.
at what I got."
Yeah.
And so now they go to the head type of the master of the school and say, "Well, my kid is learning this. Can you, sneak home some terms and tell me what it means so I can help out my kid?" So we're actually it happens inside the middle schools all the time. Parents call up the principal. I don't understand this. Can you send home what it means?
Really?
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So now we are inadvertently
Well, that's good.
educating
Wow.
the
That they
parents
wanna learn.
because most people will not admit. They think, well, I am 25 years old or
I
I'm
should know this
21
type
years
of stuff
old
already.
and I should kind of know it. But how? People rarely learn through osmosis.
Right.
I haven't heard of it before. Maybe some people are smart enough to learn through osmosis.
Yeah.
You are, I'm sure. I am
Learn
not.
by doing.
Yeah.
And that's like a problem with a lot of the education that happens within a lot of schools, especially public schooling, and the fact that with all the things like them trying to cut costs and try to save things and whatnot, these classes that are vital to people, whether it's like financial literacy or understanding how to balance your your taxes and doing all those types of stuff, those things are not taught to the youth.
No.
So as soon as they get out of
The
college or as soon as they get a
parents
job,
don't know it either.
Right.
as soon as they get a job and all
we
that
met
stuff.
this young waiter when we went to a restaurant one time, not long ago.
Okay.
And nice young man, and we started talking about financial literacy. Remember that? And he said to us, I wish that we had had this conversation before I went to college, before I signed that loan.
Right.
He said, because now I'm underemployed, even though he had a degree in a practical
A lot of
field,
them.
finance and
Yeah.
accounting. I'm underemployed, I'm working as a waiter, and I'm up to here in debt.
Right.
Yeah.
They don't know this
Right.
stuff.
No,
They
they
don't know like what type of loans you're supposed to take. They don't know when you're supposed to take them. They don't know how much for, and those are the type of things that we learn.
Right.
You know?
So I want to know about you. What are you, a junior in
I'm a
high
junior in high school.
You're
yeah.
a junior in high school, and next year you're going to be a senior?
Senior, yeah.
His eyes lit up. And what are you planning?
For one, these eyes lit up with nervousness and not excitement. That's A. But yeah, a lot of things with becoming a senior,
President
or
Daniel.
Yeah.
when you approach that that level, when you're becoming a senior, that upperclassman level, it's just like the realization of how close the real world is coming to you. It kind of hits you hard, and the fact that I'm gonna have to start applying for these loans. I have to start taking everything way more seriously. All these tests and all these things. At the end of the day, whether you think about them or not, these tests and whatnot, they're going to decide a lot of things in your life, which shouldn't be like a thing.
Yeah.
But they are. These SATs, these ACTs, all those
You've already
things.
thought of that. Isn't that funny? Upperclassmen. I only thought of that in college. But where are you applying?
Where am I applying?
Because you're one of his products. So let's see.
Wow, one of your products. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, one of the main places, one of the
nice.
big places that I really want to attend is Emerson College over in
Oh,
Boston.
that's
Yeah.
nice.
They're the number one school in oratory and those type of
Yeah.
things, whether it's
Yes,
communications and
and
things
the
like that.
acting
And although I don't want to go into that
Yeah.
exact major of communications and whatnot, I want to
Communications
do
is
something
good.
that allows me to speak, that allows me to have my own view, has my own voice.
Very good. You're good
you
at
know.
it too.
No, thank you. You know, and it also
That's a
relates
good
to me like being
speaker.
someone an artistic person. Like, and they have like a great fine arts program
Where'd
over
you
at
get that
Emerson
vocabulary from?
too. Okay. All right here. All right. So yeah,
It's
those
wonderful.
those are one of the
What a
places.
great representative you are of the organization.
Thank you. That means a
Yeah.
lot.
Well, you know what's
Really.
interesting, really, is kind of wrapping up because we're into our "You've Got to Be Kidding" segment. But it's
Already?
true
Wow.
that the
Yeah.
global economy
It's up
drives
there.
everything. It could be good things that it drives
Right.
and not so good. Even terrorism is the lifeblood of terrorism is economics.
Right.
It's funded
right?
exactly.
The
Right.
funding.
Exactly.
So you hear, well, let's chop the head of the snake off. In other words, let's limit the funding,
Right.
their access to funding. Right. Everything
Yeah.
is
Right.
driven, and we do not have a national economy anymore. It is
No,
not.
it's
a
international.
world-
It's
It's a world
international.
economy.
You have to have economics, but my mother used to say to me, never make money your God. So how do you do the economics, the financial literacy, and not, and which not make money your God? It can mean a lot of things.
Right.
Well, what I would say to that is like, don't make money a god, make money your friend.
Oh,
And
I like that.
make money not your god, make it a friend. So work with
Yeah.
money, respect money, understand how money works. So when it comes to the fact that don't make money, don't worship, don't put it in such a high pedestal that A, you can't reach it or it's the only thing that you want. You know, money is the thing that should work for you. It gets you everything, not everything. It gets you a lot of things that you want in life.
Yeah.
So
Right.
you should make money your friend so that you know how to work with it in a lot of situations. And there's things that you pursue that has nothing to do with money.
And you
so
should
to
always
speak.
give back.
You should always give back because it's the
I
people
was taught
that
and I teach my
yeah,
kids.
it's
you
the people
give
under
back.
you that like
He's giving back.
exactly
amazing.
he gives
you
back.
are too. You are too.
Without
This
him-
this is so wonderful.
Exactly.
It really
Without
is
him,
so wonderful.
many people wouldn't be able to understand that.
Right.
They
Wow.
wouldn't be able to like understand the
Nice-
fact that how
nice
much money has to
man.
play in the role. So
And I met
we
his
thank him a
son.
lot.
His son is nice too.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things I would kind of like to say about what the money is this: there's a big thing between what's money and also what's wealth. And
yes.
we actually was to teach that. And what I'll do, I'll ask people to tell me the difference. And most people cannot. And if you ask people to tell you the difference between money and wealth, it's like, well, it's the same thing. Well, no, it isn't. And that's where we get a little bit confused. You know, if you talk about a guy like, you know, Bill, in fact, what's it, Gates? He got himself what to do? Money. Wealth.
Wealth.
You know,
Yeah, he has-
Robert, in fact, what's it, Kraft? He got
Wealth.
wealth.
Yeah.
These here guys that play for the Patriots,
Yeah.
they
That's
got
money.
themselves money.
Yeah.
Money is a thing that you can lose in a few days or a few. Wealth is something
what they
that
have
travels
to
down
invest in.
generations.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so
Oh,
those are those
nice.
two distinctions.
Interesting.
Like the people. Okay, so a good example I know of, right? Shaquille O'Neal, he has money. He's rich. The guy who gives Shaquille O'Neal money, he has wealth.
Yeah.
So it's that
There.
it's
Yeah.
that major difference people need
You
to
got to
realize
be
sometimes.
kidding.
Yeah.
You gotta
Yeah,
be
you're
kidding. Well,
Look at that.
there's one item for you got to be kidding, and it's
Okay.
actually one that you have mentioned before, but it's pertinent to
one?
this. The woman who said, "I made my husband a millionaire."
Oh, yeah.
And I made my husband a
Oh,
millionaire.
yeah.
And
What was he before?
what was he before? He was a billionaire. That's one of my favorites that you came up with.
Yeah.
I like that.
Let the people know. You'll be seeing more.
Yes, this has been
more of empower
really
yourself.
what wonderful things you're doing.
Well,
And-
just to tell you, we have ourselves one more financial literacy competition coming up April 7th at the Boston Federal Reserve Bank. You're more than welcome to come. That is our premier competition.
That's the big one.
Yeah, that is the big one. The people at the Fed roll out the red carpet.
We're
We're
not
gonna-
sure when this airs, but
Yeah.
this show can go all over the world
Yeah.
at any time.
Yeah.
We're in archive.org. You can see us anywhere. We're in Brockton too. We're in 25 towns. But I've been, ever since Margaret Brooks, we've been following you. You're absolutely amazing.
Yeah, thank you
Yes,
very,
we-
very
we
much.
will-
Thank
we'll
you
be
very,
going
very much.
again. It's
Thank you so
absolutely
much for
amazing.
being here.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, of course. This has been
it's
great.
quite
This has been
fascinating.
great.
Yeah.
This
Oh,
is-
isn't
this has
that
been
good?
fun.
You'll be
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
You'll
Yeah,
be
I hope
back.
so.
We're doing a coloring. We did a coloring book. Hey, what's the last page? We did a coloring book. It's called a activity coloring book. Police officers are our friends, and this one's for Sharon. And
This actually is part of the law part of the law.
yeah,
you're
the
gonna
law
use. This
is
is
our-
about
But
fighting
this is-
cyberbullying.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
fighting
and-
cyberbullying.
We
It
actually
came
did,
apart.
and Marsha can talk a minute on this about the event we did with the FBI
Oh, yeah,
Oh yes.
you mentioned that.
About 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
so to speak.
We might
we
have
had
to
the
cut you off, so don't worry.
Oh, it's okay. About two
have
weeks
the-
ago, we had the FBI actually come to our school and give a presentation about things like drugs or cyberbullying, all those different types of things.
Interesting.
Yeah, so just
Yeah.
to tell the students about that, and those
Yeah.
are just some of the things that
Yeah,
we
we're
do.
about what's it, 100 kids. And one of the things is I don't want the kids to think that the officers are the enemies.
Yeah, so
No,
and-
police
and-
officers are our friends.
Yeah, so we kind
Have
of
to
brought
close.
in the FBI and the kids loved it. They were wonderful. They was very, very engaging. And now we have some kids who want to be FBI
Yeah,
agents.
it's
Yeah.
We have to close now. We're
yeah.
running
Yeah,
out
we
of
have to
time.
close
But
now.
again, we thank you. This is so interesting. And to our
Fascinating.
viewers,
I
we
can't believe
if
the
you'd like
time
more
went by.
information on this wonderful program,
Yeah.
Empower Yourself, please send us an email and we'll make
Great
sure
name,
to hook
too.
you up.
yeah.
Great name.
And if you'd like just to have more ideas about financial literacy or any other topic of the Law, Your Money, and You, please let us know. Because remember, this is your show. The law, your money,
Money and you.